Hey everybody, it's Zach from Myshire Farm. We are going to do our weekly Q&A. I am starting a couple minutes earlier. I'm going to try to get the comments on a different phone so that I can read them off of this. I do that every time, guys. All right, so we are good to go on that end. I know that a lot of people have tried to contact me this week, so I will get to your emails and text messages and phone calls. I have been on the road for quite a while this week. I feel like I traveled the U.S. I went to Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Mississippi, Louisiana. I think that's it. But yeah, that took quite a bit of time off my schedule, so I'm a little behind on some things, but I will get to your messages. But how this works is it's just a Q&A, so you guys can just go ahead and comment any questions that you may have, and I will be happy to help. We do a couple fun things here, such as you can let us know where you're from. And I always shout that out. So like, for example, Stephen, welcome from Bates City, Missouri. Really cool. So we'll just do stuff like that. And then any questions that you might have. If we don't have any questions or any comments, I'll talk for a couple seconds, couple minutes, and then we'll go. We try to limit this to about a half hour. It always starts a little slow, but it picks up and then it's usually over a half hour. But I have actually got a lot of stuff to do, so I'm going to try to limit it to 30 minutes as much as I can. Sorry. So here we go. We've got a couple things here. Stephen from Bates City, Missouri, welcome again. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask now. I will get to the question. Before we go any further, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you get notifications when I go live. I'd really appreciate it. Let's see, favorite type of quail. Well, I only specialize in Coturnix. I know very little about other types of quail, but my favorite variety of the Coturnix are the SSCs. The SSCs are the Schofield Silver Collection. It's got amazing variety to it, and the colors in that variety are amazing. So like, it comes lavender and charcoal, and I mean, there's just silver and gold, silver pharaohs, all kinds of really cool stuff. So yeah, the SSCs are my absolute favorite. Eric Crawford said hello. Hello. Heather, wow. Let's see, Heather says, hi from Vermont, welcome. Molly, welcome back. I'm tuned in from northern Michigan, welcome. Eric from Buffalo, New York. Really cool. Billy, got 30 rare hatching eggs from you. Had 22 hatch yesterday. Thanks from Alabama. Wow, that is really good. 22 out of 30 hatch. If you got the 30 rare, you probably got the 25 plus. So you only paid for 25. So that's really close to 100% hatch rate. So that is awesome. Congratulations. Hopefully you got a really nice variety. I do my best with that, so that's really cool. Adam, hello from Wales. Hello. We have talked quite a bit this week. William, 3 of the straight runs I bought ended up mailed. Typical percent? Out of every 10, I would say 3 to 4 are usually males. Yeah, that would be about average. So you're at the lower end a little bit. Farmington, New Mexico, welcome. What do you recommend to breed with scarlet male? Anything. It just depends on what you're wanting to do. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah, it just depends on what you want to do. If you want to produce the Egyptian, then you would want to do scarlet male over pharaoh hens. You'll get the Egyptians that way. You could put scarlets with Tibetans and get rosettas. You could, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with scarlets. I would say, other than our pharaohs, we probably use scarlets more than any other color. As far as producing more colors, enriching the colors that we have, and things like that. To us, other than the pharaohs, scarlets are, yeah, be close, but I would say scarlets are probably our second most important color that we have, which I really don't talk about that much. Um, Rusty Roost Farm. Hey, I wanted to thank you for an amazing batch of eggs. Ordered 25, got 30, 19 hatched. That is awesome. That's the second hatch rate that we've heard so far. Wonderful. I will write those down. I didn't bring my paper and pen. I'm actually inside our house today because, well, it's cold out, and I finished the barn a little bit ago, and I took a shower, and I didn't want to go back down. So I set up in the house today. This picture behind me, I don't really know if you can see it. I'll tilt this a little bit. My daughter drew and painted that, which is pretty cool. So she did not get that. Pretty cool. But I will write down that it was 22 out of 30 and 25 out of, or 19 out of 30. So that is really, really cool. Omar, hello. Try to come to Minnesota State. Well, I wouldn't mind. I don't think I've ever been to Minnesota. So that would be pretty cool, and it's really not that far away. I'm hoping not to have to travel for about 2 months is what I'm hoping. We'll see how that goes. Assuming I had all your colors. Assuming I had, the Scarlet Male. Yeah, again, it just depends on what you're wanting to get. You can, like I said, you can produce Egyptians, you can produce Rosettas, you can enrich some colors. There's a lot of things you can do with the Scarlets. Omar, what is the best food we can feed to our adult quail? We have ours made locally, so I don't think you'll find that. But I thought I asked, but oh, yep, I already see it loud and clear. Excellent. Okay, so that, we're going to talk about that for just a second. And I got all, looks all weird now. Hold, please. Okay. I'm growing my hair out, and I just got out of the shower, and it's all, so I'm like, I'll just wear my hat. All right, so I did a video on this, but I probably get 7 to 10 phone calls a week about feed. And so from day of hatch until week 10, they should be on a 22 to 28% protein feed. Game bird would work. Coturnix quail would work. If you can't find either one of those, a turkey starter will work. We used a turkey starter for a long time until we started making our own. So that would work. After week 10, protein is not a big deal. You don't need the protein. So we feed ours 15% protein. It needs to be 3.5% calcium, 1.5% fiber, and 1.5% crude fat, if I remember correctly. You're not going to be able to match those numbers up specifically, most likely, but you want to get close to those numbers. You pay more in feed when the protein is higher. So as soon as they hit 10 weeks, we do it for multiple reasons. We change the feed because it's cheaper, and that goes into account. And then we also change the feed because they don't need the protein. They're fully grown, but they do need help with the crude fat and the fiber and the calcium to produce and lay the eggs, and nice eggs. So that's what I would recommend with that. David, South Florida. Awesome, welcome. Eric says, I can hear you. Doug says he can hear me. Rusty says they can hear me. I can hear you just fine. Molly, thank you. All right, so next question. And again, if you have any questions concerning Coturnix quail, feel free to just comment. I will get to the question. Let's see. Hello from Missouri. I just ordered my first set of Myshire hashing eggs due to arrive tomorrow. Super excited. Thanks for teaching so much. That is wonderful. Really cool. Let me know how it goes. Eric says, other than store-bought feed, what else can we feed the birds? Not looking to substitute, just to add some fruits and veggies. Pretty much anything is a good to go, except for oranges. Oranges can actually make them sick, and we learned that the hard way. So we feed ours cucumbers and apples. I mean, we'll throw some stuff in there if it's extra, but that's typically what we throw in there is oranges, or not oranges. Don't feed them oranges. Apples and cucumbers is mainly what we feed them, and they really like it. Good question. David, once in a while I get eggs that are kind of dull looking. Could that be a lack of calcium? Yeah, calcium has a lot to do with the eggs. Usually calcium is when you get those soft shell eggs. But like, if you have quail, you've probably seen those quail that lay the solid white egg, you know, and we always joke around saying their printer was broken for the day. Really, they just didn't get enough nutrients for the day, so it didn't produce correctly. Really doesn't affect the egg that much, but yeah, calcium and fiber are a big part of that. I don't know how the breakdown is because I'm not that smart, but I've talked to the people that are that smart, and they've explained it, and that's as far as I got it. I'll do that. I also heard that avocados are bad. I don't know. They could be. I don't know why they would be, but they might. Yeah, we've never tried that. I'm not too sure. Somebody on here might know. Before I move any further, please make sure that you like this video, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell so you get notifications on when I go live. I got back from my trip on Friday. I did Friday late, midnight. So Saturday I had to ship out, and that was crazy. And then, you know, feed and water and, you know, upkeep and all that stuff. And then today I pretty much did the same thing and made foamers for tomorrow's shipment and blah, blah, blah. But I did get fairly caught up. So I've got 2 or 3 days of 12, 14-hour days in there that I can get everything done for the week. And then I'm really, really, really hoping to do a bunch of stuff that I have not been able to get done, such as our tour of the new barn, such as getting back on backyard chickens, BYC, such as all kinds of different stuff. So hopefully I'll be able to do that soon. Mine also like watermelon. Yep, watermelon's a really good one. Stuff that's really, really juicy. So I can kind of see where that avocado thing didn't come from, or came from. So, you know, apples can be juicy, cucumbers, watermelon, things like that. All right, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to help. Until then, I'll give you a couple minutes in case anyone has any questions. If no one else has any questions, then we'll just cut it short early. Do you put anything in the water? I've heard of folks adding ACV or electrolytes. We do add electrolytes once a month to the waters. It can't hurt, but yeah, I get a monthly supply in, and then when it comes in, we just add it to the water. I don't know if it helps at all. I don't really see any big difference, but can't hurt. Can't hurt. I got lost. Here we go. Tom from Canada. Welcome. I think you're the first Canada person today. Let's see. How long would you leave a young hen coming into lay before incubating her eggs? I wait. I recommend you wait 7 days. I wait 7 days. Um, oh, I might have hit something, but Expedition Midwest, your message was retracted. If I did that, I apologize. Go ahead and feel free to ask again. But yeah, once they start laying the eggs, I would recommend waiting 7 days before incubation. So that is it for the questions. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to help. We'll go over some things while I'm waiting. So a lot of people have asked me about the coronavirus, what's going on with shipping, things like that. As of right now, nothing's changed. I'm talking to the post office almost on a daily basis, at least Monday through Friday I am. Well, Monday through Saturday. For the foreseeable future, nothing is going on as far as that goes, so we'll still be able to ship out. And I'm very happy that people are excited about getting eggs and quail and becoming more self-sufficient. And to be honest with you, there's no better time than now to be a little more self-sufficient. And so that's great. But I only get a certain amount of eggs a day. So if you've ordered, or if you watch this and you've ordered and you're wondering when do I ship out, I ship 4 days a week. I ship Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. No eggs sit for more than 24 hours. I collect the same day or the night before. And we ship them out as fast as we can. So if it takes me a week to ship your order, they're fresh eggs. It's just I've got a lot of orders that I'm trying to get out. So I am trying to keep everybody happy and getting them out as fast as possible because it serves no point for me to keep the eggs and hold them. And I know that you want them, and we are getting them to you as fast as possible. So just keep that in mind. Any tips or tricks for egg storage? Oh, not you, I mistyped. Oh, okay, good. Egg storage. Well, this is what we tell we've talked to our corporate accounts, and what we tell everybody is that they are good for 3 weeks, 21 days since the day they lay, and they're good for 21 days either room temperature or fridge. But like for a lot of our corporate accounts, we store them in the fridge until I get their full order together. In that case, they need to keep them refrigerated. Now, we do have some people that say don't refrigerate them, just leave them on the counter. Well, then, so they're good, but if they've been refrigerated and then you take them out, you've got a very short window, and I don't really know what that window is because I don't do it. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So 21 days refrigerated or room temperature is what I would recommend. Let's see, Tom from Canada. How long do you wait before you open incubator after the chicks first to hatch? I waited 24 hours to take the first ones out, and that's all I got. I wait 24 hours. I know that you can wait up to 72 hours, but I feel like that is rude because I'm sure they are hungry and thirsty and they want more space, and I feel bad and I'm impatient. So for example, I have a hatch. I don't know, it's only like 100. It's a research hatch that, we've only got a few birds in. But I just incubated 100. They hatched out this morning. I will open it up tomorrow, take those out, and then we'll open up another 24 hours again. So I wait 24 hours. How many did you incubate, Tom? And how many hatched? and I might be able to help you out with what happened. Let's see, David. Is it very important to let your quails sand themselves? Once in a while I let them and they love it. Not sure if it is really important. It's, how do I, they enjoy it. It's nice for them to do. It's not a necessity, and it doesn't really affect production at any part. So it's not a necessity. But if you have the capability of doing it and you have the time to do it, it's nice to do it because they like it. John, do you feed medicated type feed? We do not. We use non-medicated. Braden, no one from Nebraska but me. That is true. I don't get a lot of Nebraskans. Is that what it is? Nebraskans? Nebraskians. Nebraskans. I would assume it's Nebraskans. They all need to get eggs from you, best I've found. That's great. Thank you very much. Yeah, and yeah, I'll just say it. If you are looking to sell your eggs locally, I would highly recommend that you put a sheet together of why quail eggs are so important. They are considered a superfood because they are extremely healthy for you. And I'm not really freaking out about this whole coronavirus thing. I've got my own feelings on it that I'm not going to get into. But I don't want the flu, you know? I don't want any of my kids to get the flu. So even if the coronavirus is a flu, I don't want it anyway, you know? It's getting crazy out there. So I'm very happy that we have a superfood in my backyard, pretty much. I would highly recommend that you educate the people around you on why it is important that they should have quail eggs, or quail meat for that matter. And I think it's going to help us. I'm hoping that a lot of people see this, and not this video, but see what's going around, see what's going on in the world, and realize that self-sufficiency is important, you know, and maybe not total self-sufficiency. You know, that's really hard to do, to be total self-sufficient. But if we could just all do a little bit more, I think it'll go a long way in the long run. So just keep that in mind. Wanted to give you kind of that tip. I don't think that you should capitalize on a pandemic, you know, but I think that you should educate the ones that are around you to help them be healthier and to help them feel more self-sufficient, if that makes sense. So don't use it as a selling point. Just educate. Help your fellow person, in my opinion. All right, so we've got a couple more questions. Let's see. I got 120 eggs from you and got 27 babies. What? Oh, I started to really freak out. I'm like, what? I got 120 eggs and 77 babies. 60%? 50% would be 60. Yeah, that's a pretty good hatch rate. Congratulations. That's pretty good. Thank you very much, Omar. Charles Reedy Freight Train. I like it. All I can find in my area is medicated wild game bird feed. Will I be able to eat the eggs and birds, or should I try to order some non-medicated food online? Well, that's a very good question. We don't do medicated feed just because we want it to be as natural as we possibly can. With that being said, I know a lot of people use medicated feed, and it's fine. I'm not judging you either way you go. It doesn't matter. If it was me, I would probably go with a non-game bird, non-medicated feed, because it's really not that big of a deal. For years, we used a turkey starter because it's very high in protein for 10 weeks, and then we just went to a chicken layer, and they worked fine. Now, the feed that we have them on now is better, but if you don't have access to anything like that, then it's okay. It's all right. But you can do whatever you want to do. That's just what my opinion is. But that's a really good question. Very good question. Canada, I put 128 eggs, got 40. Ooh, that's not good. Tom from Canada, were they your eggs or were they shipped to you? And if they were shipped to you, were they shipped in Canada or were they international? Oh, you also have a message below that. Tom, Canada, my outside room temp was 20 and humidity was only 10%. Maybe I read that wrong. Tom from Canada, your humidity at lockdown, was it 10% or just let me know. Salvador, welcome back. Let's see, Tom, do I need to make a warmer and high humidity small area when I open incubator? Well, I can go over this basics on that real quick. Canada, I don't believe uses Fahrenheit. I believe you use Celsius. And I don't know those numbers, but you can Google it. So we recommend that you do a 99.5%, 99.5 degree Fahrenheit temperature the whole time that they're in the incubator. That does not change. The humidity should be 45% plus or minus 5% during the first 14 days. The morning of day 15, you put them in lockdown, which either you move to lockdown like we do or you take the rails out and they don't turn anymore. And then your humidity needs to go up to 65 to 75%, period. So 65, anywhere from 65 to 75 is fine. That softens the egg so that the chicks can break through. If you do leave the door open for too long, it does shrink wrap them. So if your humidity is low already, and then you shrink wrap them even more, then you're destined to have a poor hatch. So typically what you want to do is, if you have like a lid, and you have to take the lid off to move them, what I would highly recommend is having a little box. Open it up halfway, not all the way, grab them, put them in the box, and put it in. I've seen a lot of people, open the box and then just start moving them like it's fast, like get it done really quick, really quick. So that should probably help you quite a bit as well. And I am rambling, so I will move on. Let's see. Expedition Midwest. What's the difference between Pharaoh and wild? Nothing. Same thing, different word. I'm going to be honest. I don't know why Jenna started our business a long time ago. So she's the creator of all this. And she called them wilds. So when I learned everything, she was my teacher. So we call them wilds. And so Pharaoh to me sounds weird. But it's the same thing, just different name. Let's see. I've just bought some 8-week-old birds. 1 or 2 have swollen toes. It doesn't seem to be bumblefoot, but then I can't say I know too much about the subject. Any thoughts on what it might be? Thanks. Swollen feet. I would assume... I would assume it probably has to do with this environment. Bumblefoot is not a genetic thing. Bumblefoot is an environmental thing. I would assume whatever is going on with your quail's feet is the same thing. Where it might not be bumblefoot all the way, it could just be swollen, it could be turning into bumblefoot. However, it could be an infection. I don't know. So I would keep an eye on it if I were you, is what I would do. It's nice to always have fresh eggs right now. Absolutely. It really is. Really is. Mike Johnson, your message was retracted. If you'd like to do that again, I will be happy to answer. Omar, where... Wow. I am really scared that I'm going to have to get glasses soon. Where we can get natural calcium. It's true the seafood shells are good for the quails. How about the shrimp skin? Don't know about that. When we've wanted to add calcium, we have added oyster shells, is what we have done. I've not tried shrimp skin. Interesting. Expedition Midwest. You stated calcium of 3.5%. I always thought it should be 1 to 2. Is that too low? No, no. I would say 1.75 is about as low as you want to go. I'm really big in the calcium, so when we started getting our new feed, I bumped it up. They did highly recommend that I leave it at like 2.25, 2.5. And I said, what's the problem if it's higher? And they said, well, nothing. And I said, then do it. And they said, okay. So that's why mine's really high. But I'm a big believer in calcium. To me, calcium is as important as protein is in the first couple of weeks of them growing. Let's see, Braden. The birds don't have swollen toes. Manure build up to the person asking. Could be. Yep. Which would be an environmental thing, yeah. Let's see. There we are. Hello from Georgia. Welcome. I make 16% layer, 26% chick, and mix in legumes. Barley, mealworms, and thistle seed. Comes out to 22%. Most expensive ingredient was $1 a pound. That is clever. And it's good. It's very good. Tom, Canada. I flew eggs in from Canada. I see. The incubator was 65%, temp was 37.5. 37.5, I'm pretty sure, is really close to 99.5 Fahrenheit, so that makes sense. 65% is pretty good. It really concerns me that only 40 hatched, and I can't imagine that it's because you opened it up. So I'm just trying to find out if maybe there's an incubator issue. Did you candle, Tom from Canada? Did you candle and see what was fertile and what wasn't? That usually can give me a pretty telltale sign as well. Looking in Mike Johnson, looking to get some in 2 to 3 weeks from you. I will be here. I'll be ready. Adam, 99 point is approximately, yes. Yes, it is. And he was at 37.5, so that makes sense, yep. All right, well, your temp and humidity was right on. I would probably bump that 65 up to 70, 75. 65 is the lower end of the okay scale, but you still should have had quite a bit more hatch, for sure. Eric says, quick rule of thumb, double Celsius and add 30. That will get you close to Fahrenheit temp. Interesting. Double and add 30. So 30... we'll say 35 would be 70, 74, 90. Okay. All right. I like it. James from Nebraska. Another person from Nebraska. I forget who else was from Nebraska earlier on. You are now not alone, so welcome. Let's see. How do you figure cost for cages and barn per egg chick? We have actually done a video. It was beginning last year. I don't remember. But we did go into the cost of eggs and how to figure out your own cost because every cost is different. For example, we pretty much built everything ourselves from the building to the incubators to the cages to pretty much everything, you know. So our cost is a little bit different. Our feed is going to be different. We pay more than what I would like to in feed, but we also have it made for us and it works out pretty well. Our jumbos are jumbos, our colors are beautiful, so can't really change the feed, so it's worth it. So everybody's is different. I did do a video on how to calculate how much it costs per egg. That should be able to walk you through the math on to figure that out. What feeds should I give baby quails? Um, Yeah, sorry. Give me just a second. I've got a Gatorade right over there, and my throat is really starting to hurt. Give me just a second. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, dear God. I'm breaking things, and things are going haywire. You should still be able to hear me, so I can tell you about the feed. Um, so I'm going to do another detailed video. Not a Q&A, but a detailed video. Oh. Barely in here. About feed. But for the first 10 weeks, you need a high protein. After that, a layer feed will do. A lot of people overthink this, and it's not that big of a deal. It's not. Feed is important. I'm not saying it's not. Feed is important. But a lot of places out there don't have game bird feed. And from what I'm understanding, a lot of places that have a game bird feed is not very good. So look at the ingredients, look at the percentages, and mainly you just want the first 10 weeks to be a high protein. Pretty much, that's pretty much all you're looking for. And then after 10 weeks, you're looking at calcium, crude fat, fiber, 15%-ish protein, and things like that. But we did do a video on here last year, maybe 2 years ago, that went into what we feed, the percentages, when we feed them, when we change feeds, and all that. That should help quite a bit as well. Holy cow, I gotta start moving. We use Celsius here in the UK. Yeah, I thought you and Canada did. A lot of people use Celsius. I should get more familiar with that. It's true the seafood shells are good for the quails? Yes. How about the shrimps? I think I already answered that. It's weird. I thought I did. Wild Pharaoh, same as Egyptian? No. The Egyptian is the roux de lutte of the wild. So, simplest terms, the Egyptian is the redhead of the jumbo wild. So they're still feather sexable. They look very similar, but one is red and one is brown. Is pretty much what it is. It's called it has the roux gene in it, so it's called the roux de lutte. So like autumn ambers are the roux de lutte of Italians. Pearls are the fee of Italians. So it's the fee gene that makes the pearl, and so on and so forth. Let's see. Crushed limestone is good for calcium, I heard. Yes, absolutely. That's a really good point. Thank you very much, Eric. Lauren, with the SSE, how do I know what the chicks will be when they are older? I got all yellow, yellow, black, yellow. I got all yellow, yellow, black, yellow, silvers. Anywhere I can see the different patterns for baby and adults. Um, you, yeah, that's a little difficult. Um, there's just so many varieties of it. Um, you can get really light ones. If you see it silver and yellow, it's a silver and gold. Um, there's one that's kind of a darker silver that has a pattern chest, like the pharaohs or like the wilds. Those are silver pharaohs. Um, yeah, there's quite a bit. You can feel free to text me at 937-760-7282, and I can try to help you identify the different silvers. But I do not have anything like that. Let's see. Greenville, North Carolina, welcome. We do have a couple questions, and I am, like always, out of time. But you guys have been doing really, really well communicating with each other, communicating with me, so I really appreciate that. We'll finish this up. Braden, they most certainly do have swollen toes. They're almost as big as my sister's 2-year-old kid's fingers. The bird is a very large wild that has a fairly difficult time walking. If it was me, I would puncture a little hole at the bottom of the leg and see if anything comes out. Because if it's swollen, then there's something in there. And you're going to have to get it out, or it's just going to get worse. But I would assume that it came from an environmental issue. David Holly, do you plan on having and selling live young quails all year long? Yes. I've got some teen sets available now. Breeder sets, I've got 40 breeders going out tomorrow, and then I've got another 150 that's on the wait list that's already purchased on the website. They will be going out a week from tomorrow, and then I will be all caught up on that. So that's pretty exciting. I recall the cost video. I will watch it again. I don't recall cage cost. Thanks. I will do more homework. Well, as far as cage cost and things of that manner, what we did was I wanted to have specific prices the whole time. So like, for example, we could have sold everything for $1, and then once we paid off the barn, we could have taken it back down to 50 cents. I didn't really want to do that. So what I've chosen to do is, you can have a spreadsheet of all your costs, and then you can have a spreadsheet of your monthly costs. So like, the cage is not a monthly cost. The cage is a one-time fee. Your feed bill is a monthly cost, right? So you would have two different sheets, and then you would have your profit, the end of the day profit. So leave your first sheet alone and say, these are my one-time deals. So let's say you spend $100 for the month on feed and electricity and whatever. And you sold all your eggs, and you sold them and made $300. So you have a $200 profit. So what I've done is I've taken that $200 and I've said, okay, well, this $200 marks this cage out. So now this cage is completely bought for, paid for, done and done. And then that next month, and then once that whole list is marked off, then that's pure profit, is the way I did it. It's probably not the way you should do it, but that's what I did. Holy cow, I gotta move. I made it, better late than ever. Absolutely. By the way, Tanya, yeah, see, this guy listens. Your eggs go out tomorrow. So I will try to remember to my very best to take a picture of the label because you will not be getting an email. So I will do my best to do that. So if you have not heard from me by 10:30 or 11 o'clock, you might want to remind me. But I will try. I've got 40 boxes going out tomorrow. So it's going to be a crazy day. Let's see, Daniel. I'm about an hour away, northern Kentucky, and get off work at 4 p.m. I know that you are open until 5, but would it be possible for me to come buy eggs and some chicks someday this week a little after 5? Yes, we do accommodate that. You can just text me or call me at 937-760-7282. We can work something out. However, I'm not letting anyone in the barn for the foreseeable future. So any pickups will have, somebody stopped by today and wanted 10 chicks, which is fine. I had them, but they had to stay outside. I just don't know what's going on with this virus, and I know that animals can get it, and I don't want the quail to get it, and we've worked really hard on this whole biosecurity thing, and for me to just ignore it when it's probably the most important, I just can't. So I have no problem you stopping by. We'll be happy to work it out. I can get that stuff ready for you. It's not a big deal, but I'm not letting anyone in the barn for a while. I just want to stay safe, and it's better to be safe than sorry. That would be a disaster. Oh my gosh, that would be awful. So, yeah, but I have no problem you stopping by. Let's see. I bought new quail food to help a local business. I don't think that's a bad idea, William. I like that. I think that's a pretty good idea. I like it. Yes, Verna, thank you. Hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. We are almost done. Hang in there. But yeah, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell so that you know when I go live. I am going to be talking to George, which is my help, tomorrow. And I would like your guys' feedback. I actually had like 3 or 4 questions for you guys, but it kind of got out of control with all the questions, which is good. That's good. So I can hold my questions back. But I am going to ask you a question now. I'm going to do these questions. I'm going to ask the question while I'm reading these and answering. I would really appreciate it if you guys would respond to me. So here's my question. Would it be educational? Would it be valuable? Would you enjoy it? Would you watch? Not all of it, but some. If I did a full day worth of like a day in the life of Myshire farm. So somebody would just follow me around all day, and it would kind of be like a Q&A all day while I work, because I would have George holding the phone and reading any questions so I could answer. You could see us do our shipping process, feed, water, the new poop system, taking care of the chicks, whatever else we do for the day. I don't know if you guys would like that, if that would help at all, if that'd be enjoyable at all, but it's kind of like a full day where you can just kind of, come in and out whenever you can. And then my other thought was maybe doing like hour longs, and then posting them, so like, we usually start at 7 a.m. So from 7 to 8, we always feed and water. So we would do from 7 to 8, post the video, title it, day in the life, feed and water. And then from 8 to 9, we're collecting eggs and getting orders ready. And so like, if you're just interested in one aspect of what we do, then you could just watch it. Or you could just hang out with me for 15 hours. George isn't down there for 15 hours. And then once he leaves, I don't have anybody to watch the camera. So it wouldn't be for 15. I wish I didn't work 15 hours a day. That'd be great. rambling again. We're going to move on. But if you guys would like that, please let me know, because I'm kind of torn on it. I thought it'd probably be kind of a cool idea, but then I was like, but if nobody watches, then I would feel dumb. So that's where we're at. From Ireland, welcome. Good day. I'm new to the channel. Welcome. And I had a few questions. Are Jumbo Browns same breed called meat makers, and when should I expect them to start laying? You also have another question, so I'm going to read that as well. I got 15 Jumbo Brown, and coming up Tuesday will be 3 weeks old. Are they hardy to put them out of the brooder on the cage? Okay, so Jumbo Browns and Jumbo Meat Makers, I believe, are the same thing. I don't really know what the whole meat maker thing is. I know that it's a JMF thing. I know a lot of people say that they carry the JMF meat makers. We don't have the meat makers. We've never had the meat makers. We have our own line, and so that's what we use. They should lay within 6 to 8 weeks. And their feather sexable at 3 weeks old. I don't move mine to the cage until they're 4 weeks old. So at 3 weeks, I turn the heat lamp off and just leave them in there for a week, and then I move them, is what I do. But from my understanding, it's pretty much the same thing. The Jumbo Meat Makers, Jumbo Browns, Jumbo Wilds, they're all the same. They're just the traditional Jumbo Pharaoh, the feather sexable brown Coturnix, if that helps. Adam, are there any plans to ship out to the UK in the future? We have shipped to the UK before. We won't be doing it for a while. We weren't planning on doing it for a while, but now with everything going on, we're definitely not going to be doing it. We probably will not do it this year. I lost my vet due to unforeseen circumstances and have not found another vet to do that with. And it gets pretty expensive. So, do you sell and ship live birds to North Carolina? We do. We do both. Yes. Daniel, meat makers are one breeder's version of jumbos. You know, I'm gonna be honest, Daniel. That was a much better way to say it than I did. Egg on my face. My bad. That was a much better way to explain that. And yeah, that was good. Sorry. Why I shouldn't talk. But yet I'm doing a live video. All right. Let's see. Thanks. You're welcome. I don't know what I did, but I hope I helped. Daniel, the biosecurity is understandable. Thank you. Yep. I just don't know enough about this yet. And, you know, when things get like this, people get crazy, and let's just slow and steady wins the race kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, hello. I believe it's Rashun. I hope I said that right. I would love to watch a day in the life. Thank you. I'm in for a full day. I look forward to it. Wonderful. Thank you. Yes, I would watch. Yes, I would watch. Maybe not live. Absolutely. Yes, full day. They like it. Thumbs up. Okay. I would watch all day. Fantastic idea. Good. I would love our snips. It's snip. Yep. I hear what you're saying. I can't say it, but I understood what you said. Yeah, I think I like the hour snips, because then people that don't watch it live can go back and go, no, I don't care about how they feed, but I do care about how they ship. I want to see that, or, you know, whatever. So that's kind of cool. And then I was kind of thinking of just, you know, once we get the normal stuff out of the day, which is usually around 1 o'clock, feed, water, poop, orders, collect eggs, get orders ready for the next day, so on and so forth. It's usually around 2 o'clock. 12 to 2 o'clock is when we're done, depending on how many orders we got to ship out. But I was thinking that next hour, when we get done with the normal stuff, I could do an hour-long Q&A and bring some topics up that I normally don't do, and then we can get back to the normal day. So I would suggest editing that just for the purpose of shortening the length of the video. Not a bad idea. I hate editing though. Hate it. Jenna might do it though. We'll see. Yes, I would love the all-day video. Thank you. That sounds great. Thanks. I like the idea of breaking it up in 1 hour segments would be great for rewatchability, finding specific pieces of information. That's what I was thinking too. Wonderful. Thank you. I would watch both. Awesome. Thank you. I would suggest film an entire day and then edit out the stuff that's really not necessary, and if still more than 30 minutes or an hour video, you could break up into segments. Oh, that's not a horrible idea either. I don't mind that. Part 1, part 2 kind of thing. 30 minutes. Be easier to post. It's a pretty good idea. I will think about this. How accurate is color sexing? Have you had a case where you thought it was male, female, only turned out been the opposite, and what age do you recommend color sexing? If you're talking about feather sexing, such as the feather sexable ones, like, you should do it, if you're not familiar with it, you should do it at 4 weeks. You can do it at 3 weeks. If you happen to do it a little bit early, they're very deceiving, which is why you don't want to do it any sooner than 3 weeks old at all. It's a bad idea. I would not recommend it. Zach, I love the Jumbo Wilds, the best out of all the breeds I've won. A&Ms are too darn aggressive. I don't know if I talked about this on the last video or if I just talked to somebody on the phone for a while about it. I think it was on the phone. Yes, I have heard that whites are very, very aggressive. Luckily, ours are not. This last breeders that went into my cage, I had one aggressive male that is no longer with us. So yeah, you can breed that out of them. But the wilds I've never had an issue with. Yes, I'd watch it. Thank you. Zach, love your channel. Learned a lot from you and Papa. Keep up the good work. I'm going to be ordering eggs in the next 3 weeks. I will be ready and happy to earn your business. Biosecurity is important, but also real security, especially in today's world. That is also true. We have some things for that as well, but usually when people stop by, I have no problem showing them around and, showing them the place, showing them the process, which is fun, and they enjoy it and I enjoy it and it's great, but we're just going to have to stop that for a while. But I will be listening to a lot of reports, a lot of interviews, a lot of news media, which I'll have to cipher through what I understand and not, but I do want to be fully educational on it, just because, we have to handle it appropriately. So it looks like that is all the questions. Everybody, I really appreciate you hanging out. Truly, I really appreciate you asking questions and checking it out. For those of you that liked the video, I can't express to you how much I appreciate you. And thank you for the feedback as far as the live day in the life of thing. It'll probably be a couple weeks. I just can't seem to get caught up, which I guess is what happens when you have 5,000 quail and 5 kids and on and on and on, right? But I will get to it. I'll get to a lot of stuff this year. So again, thank you very much, everybody. How long can you collect eggs for incubating? We do ours for 7. So I'll collect ours for 7 and put them in. I don't, unless I've talked to the customer, I don't hold anything more than 2 days. So, if somebody orders, a couple weeks ago, somebody ordered 1,500 jumbo wilds. That's fine. It took me 3 days to collect. So that's what I told them. And I said, hey, they'll be about 5-6 days old when you get them. What do you think? And they said, that's fine. I said, okay. Or I could ship out, 2 different boxes or 3 different boxes, whatever you want to do. And they said, no. So you can for sure ship out by Tuesday? And I said, yes. And he said, yep, that's fine. And I said, okay. So, yeah. As far as I do it, I hold mine for 7. The longest that any of our customers would get eggs would be, without talking to me, would be 4 days, possibly 5, depending on where you're located. So you would still have a minimum of 2 days to put them in the incubator if you wanted to. I missed the first half of the video, so I'll be rewatching this one once it is uploaded. Thanks for doing these videos. You're welcome. Thank you for visiting. I hope that I am answering some of your questions. One of the other questions that I had was, would you guys like to have topics for every week? So we do a weekly Q&A, but this week's topic is blah, 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 or this week's topic is blah, blah, blah. I kind of liked that idea. However, then I thought, well, if somebody normally can't join the live Q&A and they have a question that has nothing to do with the topic, then they might feel ousted to ask, and then they might never ask, and then I might never be able to answer it for them. So then I thought, maybe we should just do a free-for-all and you guys just ask whatever we've got, and then maybe I could just have a topic to talk about if there's no questions, which, good Lord, I'm 30 minutes behind schedule. So anyways, we'll talk about that next week. Everybody, I really appreciate you guys. I really do. Please, please, please be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. And we'll see you next Sunday at 7 p.m. Thanks, everybody. Oh, I am posting on Facebook tomorrow some interesting news concerning live quail, concerning a contest, which is going to be pretty fun. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys next Sunday. That's pretty cool. Thanks. Awesome. All right, everybody, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We will see you next time. I'm sorry it took so long. Glad I got to answer all your questions. 7 p.m. next week. I'll see you there. Thanks, guys.